Hello, peoples. How are you today? I don't know about you guys, but I was touched by what Lindsay's going through. I feel for her. That nobody should have to do that. Yeah, it shouldn't happen to anybody. But anyway, welcome to MikiSunshine Creates. Of course, I'm Miki. I have no idea what I'm going to talk about tonight, but I am diving in. We're going to talk about some crafts. We're going to talk about some lifestyle. Well, I don't know, life choices. I don't know. We'll just play it by ear like I do. I usually go on Friday nights. I go live on Friday nights at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. And I just ask my people. I just ramble, but I do giggle a lot. I don't ask you. So we're going to try that tonight. But a lot of you have already heard my story. So I don't want to repeat it. I mean, but you might have to listen to it because there are a lot of new people here. And let me take care of that, turn that off. And they want to hear it. You know, it's possible. Let me say hello to a few people. Mystical Dreamer, Lois, hi. Robin P. I always call him Robin P. Buttnuts. I love that name. Hi, Jerry. Jen does diamonds. Yes, she does. Wilma G. She's my Wilma G. She's my girl. Hi, Kathy. Long time no see. Dawn, Kay. Welcome, Kay. I'm glad you came tonight. Thank you. Catherine, hi. Nessa, Nancy, Rhonda, Crafton, Judy, Yvonne, Shafki. She's a sweetheart, Yvonne. Yeah. Hi, Chaotic, Lindsay. There you go. That was a good live. You almost made me cry. So, but hi, Robin loves reading it all the things. I do get tongue tied a lot. Heaven 302, you're new. Welcome. I dreamer. Rebecca. She's my bestie, my sister from another mother and mister. Blunts and Gems. I forgot your name, but hi, welcome. I'm good wife. Knits for Sanity. Oh, that I remember that. I remember that. I met you in the group chat. Hey, Desiree. All right. Oh, I think I said almost everybody. So, hi guys, welcome. I'm working on Tuscan Serenade from Craftibly. It's upside down right now, but it's a landscape painting for the event that Rebecca and I are currently hosting. It's over on the 30th. It's called The Great Escape. And Crashley made these beautiful release papers for us. Aren't they cool? I think they're cool. I mean, Rebecca came up with the graphics, the design, but Crashley made them into release papers. So you can get these if you want. Some of the people who've been on our earlier and maybe later have been sponsors. We appreciate that. And we're having fun. This year was the year of landscapes. So we all chose landscapes, the Great Escape, where are you going to escape to? Next year, the year of fantasy. But it's still the Great Escape. So I don't know what we're going to do for that, but it's a year of fantasy. I love fantasy. I told you I can't talk. I have a memory problem. I get lost trying to retrieve information or just talk straight. I'm getting old. Though everybody's telling me, no, I'm not getting old. I gotta blame something. I don't want it to be my fault. But what I can blame it on, and it's the truth. I was in an accident in 1986, 83, 86. And I'm not going to tell you what the whole accident was, but suffice to say that I got brain damage. I mean, seriously, my short-term memory loss was gone for a while. It still seems to be that way. And it triggered fibromyalgia, and I had migraines and depression and anxiety and all of this from hitting my head on a concrete post. I was wearing a helmet. That's what happened. So I can say to people, hey, I'm brain damaged. What's your excuse? Okay. I find myself funny. I make myself laugh, and that's all I really need to do because it does help me forget about the everyday pain. But I want to talk about crafting because this is a craftathon. I mean, everybody's showing off their crafting and doing it or whatever. I want to talk about the different crafts and what I've done. I was taught how to crochet by my grandmother. God bless her. But I never really picked it up until I got older and married, and the one thing turned into the other, and I wound up disabled. So I was married, and I'm staying home all day, and I'm not the type of person that can sit home all day, watch TV, and not do anything. I have to do something. I have to be productive. So I started crocheting. I taught myself because what I learned from my grandma was a long time ago, and just a couple of stitches. But I taught myself. I made a lot of mistakes, but I got better and better. And I did it for years. I even taught at Michael's. I would teach beginner crochet at Michael's. In the US, we have a craft store, Michael. Oh, it was fun. It's not easy to teach. No, anyway. So I crocheted all the time. Then, and that was for years. I mean, really, I'm the type that when I find a craft that I really like, I become obsessive about it. And I will do that craft to the exclusion of everything else. I can't help it. Before that, because I was married 3 times, my second husband, he was a software engineer, designer, and he had his own software company. So I worked for him. We worked together, and but I had created a little craft closet at one of the places. It was like a craft room, and I did polymer clay, and I did stamping, making cards. Um, I did all these little, the little things that you latch hook, all those little easy things that to do. The stamping was fun because you could buy inks that you heat it up and it puffs up. It's so cool, really. And polymer clay. Crashley, where's Crashley? Crashley is right here. Here. Crashley's right here. She made this pen for me. This is the first one she made for me. Isn't that beautiful? The little flowers. I have more by her. And if you have to go over to Crafts by Crashley on Etsy, she has some really cool stuff, from pens to the release paper. Anyway, then it was after that, when I married my second husband, that I really got into uh, crochet. And then he left me. hey, crap happens. But me, I stopped crocheting. One day I just stopped. I didn't want to do it anymore. I wasn't inspired. I, I didn't feel it anymore. It was a rough time for me. It's always rough when they leave you. It really is. It's like a death in the family. It really is. That's how you feel. It's terrible. It's like, did you lose a pet? Oh, hi, Renee. Care Bear and Narada. Hi, guys. Crafton, Judy, and Nessa. Oh, gosh. I didn't see people come in. But that's me. I'm not paying attention. I'm just talking. Because that's what I do best. What was I saying? Oh, yeah, I stopped crocheting. And I stopped crocheting for a few years. But then, unfortunately, my mother passed, but she left me some money. And I decided I'm going to buy myself a house. Big mistake. Bought it at the wrong time. So I bought the house, but it was a 1,400 square foot, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage in an HOA and a gated community. I loved it. I love that house. There were windows, it was a dining, living room, and kitchen open concept. And there was so much light because there were a lot of windows and French doors to the patio. And they had made a 3rd bedroom into a den with French doors. And I turned that into my craft room. And I started making jewelry. I met some people. I met this one woman, and she was doing beading, and she says, "Let's make jewelry." So I formed a company, Miki Cat Designs. Cat, her name was Cat. Okay, so I did that until about 2009. I didn't sell well. My aesthetic was not the current rage, and I found it difficult to move. But I taught myself, and I took some classes. I learned how to solder, how to chainmail, how to create beads out of polymer clay, how to uh, set cabochon, you know, semi-precious stone. I bought so much crap. I did. I spent thousands of dollars on findings and semi-precious gems and Swarovski crystals. I made bracelets and necklaces, but they were my style. It wasn't the style. And I bought a bench, a jeweler's bench. I borrowed a acetylene and a acetylene torch from my cousin who ran an air conditioning company. But I was making the jewelry, and I bought all these things. I still made it. Until I lost my house. No. I made it until 2009, give or take a year or two. And that's when I picked up knitting. Yes, I became obsessed with knitting. 2 needles, not not what do you call it, loop and knit, whatever. No, real knitting. I became obsessed with it, and I was on Ravelry, and I was having patterns. I have over 1,000 patterns in my little library over there. And I made so many things. And I worked my way up from plain. Actually, my first project was a cable knit scarf. Cable. It's not an easy stitch to do, but I'm like a full speed ahead kind of person. Let's go. Let's do it. And if I want to learn something, I'm going to learn it. Simple as that. So I started knitting, and then I got into working lace. It's not easy knitting lace shawls. It's difficult because, yeah, I even have 2 lace shawls currently in progress in a project bag that are sitting there because I have made mistakes, and I was going to take them over to the yarn store to see if the ladies over there could help me figure out where the hell I went wrong, because I've been back and forth on it like 12 times. And I started cross stitching when I lost my house and I moved here. I went from a 3-bedroom, 1,400 square feet, to 1,000 square feet, 2-bedroom, because I have a roommate. It's tiny. I mean, I still, believe it or not, I've been here for almost 7, 8 years. Don't yell at me, Rebecca. I still have boxes with my stuff hanging out in the living room. You can barely walk. There's not enough wall space in here. There's not. I've got too much furniture, and I'm a mess. But I put all of my jewelry stuff into storage. So when I was here and I was knitting and I was cross stitching and I was looking for a cross, this is back in 2017. So quite a while ago, 4 years ago, 4 or 5 years ago, I was looking on AliExpress for cross stitch patterns, kits, to buy the kits. And all of a sudden I see this 5D diamond painting, embroidery, cross stitch, whatever. I mean, you know how some of them just put so many words in these titles so you can find it anywhere. And I said, what the heck is that? So I bought a couple. Okay, excuse me, I need some water. Ooh, that tastes good. It's flavored water, fruit tulle. Love it, love it, love it. Where was I? My brain. And it's for sanity, that's right. 1,200 square feet, 6 people, 2 cats, 1 dog, 0 storage. You have a crafting nook out in the living room. I'm sitting at my dining table. I'm sitting at my dining table right now. This is where a big dining table. It was unfinished wood. I actually finished it. It's a huge farm table with 2 inserts. So I only have 1 in, and I can't even put the second one in because it won't fit. But we used to entertain a lot when I was married. Yeah. So I found diamond painting, and I went on YouTube to look to see what the hell it is. And I bought a couple, and they came here, and I started diamond painting, and that was it. It's now my sole obsession. All I want to do is diamond paint and read. I also picked up reading again. I've always read, but some people don't like me reading in the afternoon because I don't talk. But it's not easy going from a big house to a tiny place. Downsizing is not good. I lost the house, by the way, naturally, because I bought it at the wrong time. Within a couple of years, I was upside down, over 100 grand. So the problem was I lost my job, and that's when I became officially disabled. And I had to, because I couldn't find another job. And I would go to my doctor and say, why can't I find another job? And I said, I'll work at a job for a month or 2, and they let me go. I don't understand what's going on. I had been working for my brother, who gave me a lot of slack because of the fibromyalgia. He would let me work from home from time to time, and he got me a comfortable chair. He got me something to put my feet up on. You know, he was very accommodating. He didn't mind that I skipped some things sometimes. You know, he just put them out and I finish them up because it happens. My brain, you know, you forget things when you have fibromyalgia. We call it fibro fog. But like I said, I've got a brain damage, fibromyalgia, and I'm getting old. It's a trifecta. I'm sorry. I have to do that. I have to laugh. I do. It helps. Kay says I'm in an old tiny RV with 3 adults and 2 big dogs and an inside fish. I I I'm sorry. I can't. I cannot. I cannot even imagine that. I can't. I mean, it's hard enough with 2 people in an RV. 3? Whoa, you must be on top of each other. And the dogs. I have 2 cats. I'll always have 2 cats. I just love the babies. But diamond painting has become my obsession. In fact, my anniversary of becoming a creator, not on being YouTube, because I've been on YouTube a long time. I mean, I was on the internet back in 1987. It's yeah, I'm old. Some of you probably weren't even born yet, or were in high school, or elementary school. But that's when I got into computers and you know, we learned about the internet and everything else. But when I found YouTube, I jumped on it, and I've been on YouTube for years and years, probably decades. It seems that way. But it's only been about, I think it's 3 years since I became a creator. 3, 4, 3, I don't know. I don't keep track. It's, you know, it is what it is. It's been a while. I don't make a lot of videos because nothing happens to me. It doesn't. Nothing happens to me. I wake up in the morning, I come here, I diamond paint for hours. I in the beginning, I diamond painted for 8, 9 hours at a time, straight. I mean, I'd get up and walk around every once in a while, but I would sit here for 8 or 9 hours diamond painting. And I went through a lot of diamond paintings that I really couldn't afford. But what the heck, you know, disability, and didn't pay much, then turned into Social Security, still doesn't pay much. And I became a tips, and I stopped knitting, and I stopped cross stitching. I stopped all the other crafts that I did because I love diamond painting. I find I'm very comfortable in my chair. My feet are up on a little poof under the table. I don't have as much room as I would like, but I do have a big table to work on. So I can work on fairly big diamond paintings. This one is, what is this one? 28 inches by 20 inches. So it's pretty big. And it fits this way, which is nice. And that way. That way I have more room. I mean, there's nothing in front of me. It's like a runway. If I take all this away. But I can't help it. I love diamond painting and I love reading. But crafting, it's saved my life a couple of times. It's given me a reason to get up in the morning and to get out of the bedroom, because I was knitting and crocheting and cross stitching in the bedroom. Not a good idea. When I moved here into this apartment, I spent an entire year in bed, refused to see anyone. I just crying because I lost my house. It It was worse than losing my husband. Oh man, I'm sad. Oh, anyway, Desiree, your mom had it too, fibro. It is. It's a struggle. We live with chronic pain. Simple as that. Some days are worse than others. The problem is the pain moves around. At least for me, everybody experiences fibromyalgia differently. So my pain, it moves around. Sometimes it gets really sharp. That's why I take a pain pill. I try not to. I don't like taking. I take drugs. I do take drugs, anti-anxiety, and antidepressant and all that stuff, blood pressure. But I don't like taking painkillers, narcotics. I have them, but I don't like taking them. Hi, Robert. How are you? I miss you, cutie. I do. I miss you. Oh, Dawn, you have fibro, lupus, and RA. That's how I discovered I had fibro. After my accident, and I was married to my second husband, and a third husband, my last husband, because I had the accident with my second husband, and we were living in South Broward, and I was still in pain every day, and it had been a good 10 years, So I didn't understand. Well, not quite 10 years. But I didn't understand. They said I should have reached maximum medical improvement in 10 years. I hadn't. So and I didn't have any money. We were kind of poor. We were renting a townhouse, and I met a doctor, a general practitioner. I just met him in a store, or I forget where. I think might have been at the groomers, because we had an Akita. And I was telling him my story, and he says, "Why don't you come in and see me when you need to? I'm not going to charge you." God bless. He says, I'm going to have to, I'll charge you my cost on blood work and whatever else might be needed. I will help prescribe you the medication you need. Because I had seen a lot of doctors after my accident, from a neuropsychologist to a psychiatrist to orthopedist to my nose broke, so I had to see an whatever they call it, ears, nose, and throat specialist, and I had my nose fixed because it was shattered, and all of these things, and he was so sweet. So we did the first time I went there, he took some blood, and he had it checked for a lot of different things because of my symptoms. And he said, you might have lupus. Dawn, I looked that up. I'm sorry. But he said I need to see a rheumatologist, because at the time they believed that fibro and lupus was related to rheumatology. We know now that fibro is not related to rheumatology. It's related to neurology, something in your head. It's your brain that's misfiring, that's sending the wrong signals, that's causing the pain, because there's nothing there to cause it. It's really weird. Yes, Robin, pain moves around, as well as other serious issues. It does. It's weird. It's a weird disease, and it is a disease. It, it was triggered. It's usually triggered by trauma of some kind. The trauma can be physical or emotional, mental trauma, and it's something happens with the chemicals that are released in your brain, and it affects the neurons and whatever the synapses, it misfires and sends the wrong chemicals to your body and the wrong messages, and it just it ain't fun. But you live with it. I've lived with it since 1986. That's how long? 30, 40 years? 30 years. Oh, yeah. I'm 67. So I've lived with it for a long time. And I learned coping mechanisms. My psychiatrist, well, my neuropsychologist, actually taught me self-hypnosis, which is really nothing more than meditating. Because you can control your brain. You can control how you feel physically. It's fun. And for me, diamond painting lets me go to a Zen place. I don't have to think about patterns or stitches. All I have to do is pick a color and put it down. Pick a color and put it down. It's very tedious for some people. They don't like it. For me, it's a craft that is, I think it was made for me because I find it very relaxing. Very. Uh, it's so good. It's a fun craft. It is. Um, I don't know what else to tell you except diamond paint and knit and crochet and loom knit and cross stitch and pick up as many crafts. It's called arts and crafts. I went to art school. I went to an art high school for 3 years. I had academic and art courses. So I learned drafting, which is what you need to go into graphics and architecture. I learned photography. I learned painting with oils, acrylics, and watercolor. I learned drawing. There was a drawing course. Anything that to do with sculpture. We did have a sculpture class too. The first year, you take all of these little classes over 2 semesters. Then you pick a major. They didn't have the major I wanted. I wanted interior design. I wanted to make furniture and design the interiors of rooms, and get this piece of furniture and that, and make what I need, design what I need. I really wanted that, but they didn't have that. I should have taken drafting because that would have led me to architecture, which is as close to interior design, not decorating, design as you could get. And I didn't. I took fashion design. Wrong choice. Except for the color theory that went with it. That was very helpful. You're right, Rhonda. It's a mindful and grounding activity. I like that. Mindful. Let's see. Mitzer Sunny says, my husband says he noticed a change in my mood and behavior after I started diamond painting. All for the better. Yeah, all for the better. It calms your mind. It makes you, it's just real. I find it relaxing. Miss for Sandy says, but I also believe all crafts have this potential, just some more than others. Yeah, you're right. It does depend on the person in the craft. Some people like to think about what they're doing. I'm not going to say I didn't or I don't, because I enjoyed mastering patterns for crochet. I enjoyed mastering charts, which was, believe it or not, charts are easier than written instructions. But I enjoyed mastering both for knitting. I enjoyed mastering cross stitching, which it takes some skill. It's not, you're not completely, anybody can do it, but it takes a little thought, you know, not much, but a little. Knitting took a lot because you got to look at the pattern and you look at the next row and you knit that row and then you look at the, you know, you go back and forth. I used my iPad, of course, so it was a lot easier. I didn't have to put anything on a board or lay a piece of paper down, and I couldn't understand how people could use paper. But that's the old-fashioned. Well, anyway, but diamond painting is so close to cross stitching. It's almost the same, except with diamonds instead of, you know, with the drills instead of with floss. Still have the graphics. You still have to put the color in the square. it's about the same. Let's see. Dawn went to. Oh, you went to art school too? I went to high school of art and design. Oh, and you're a jeweler. Hate you. I wanted to learn jewelry, but I should have started when I was younger and apprenticed, because that's the best way to learn, you know, is working for a jeweler. My nuts. You have ADD, ADHD. Oh, you don't tell me you're like Crashley. Crashley is hyper. I love her though. Dyslexia. Oh, and OCD. I saw that. You wrote that somewhere. You wrote that. Yeah, it is. Crafts are a labor of love. Because when I was crocheting and knitting, I was giving everything away. I live in South Florida. I don't need wool or heavy acrylics. I don't need scarves or hats or gloves. Knitting blankets was too much for me because that's true. But I used to crochet blankets, Afghans, constantly, and I'd give them to my nieces and other friends I know because sometimes it gets cold in the house. You got the AC on, and you know your toes get a little cold, so you keep an Afghan on the couch. And I would do that. I'd make it for them, and I gave it away. Knitting, I was making the shawls, and I'd give them to my friends and whatever. Uh, it it's it's a labor of love. I made an Afghan for my mother that took me 5 months because I made it much bigger than the design called for, the pattern. And it was a 6-row pattern with the 5th row reaching down 4 in the front. Look like, you know, it's like this a quadruple crochet stitch. If you drop the stitch, that straight knit crochet, you know, thing that you're supposed to, it wound up crooked, and you have to rip out everything to find out where you went wrong. Where did you drop the stitch? Which row? It became very frustrating, but I kept to it, and it took me 5 months. And I sent it up to my mother. I told her it was my hug. She loved it. I mean, I thought it was beautiful. If you've ever seen, I did it in different colors, but it's Vanna Whites all through the house. It's the Afghan that's on the cover. It was called Window Panes. It's beautiful. She did it in grays. I did mine in cream and browns, nutmeg, and I think there's 3 colors. I don't remember. And it was gorgeous. It really was. I enjoyed it so much. Hey, Tia is here. She's my girl. Oh, Rhonda, after your sister had her accident resulting in brain injury, she gave it all up. Oh, I'm sorry. That's when I found mine. That's when I found mine. But for me. I don't ask me why. I have been diamond painting since 2017, or earlier. I started I became obsessed with it. I couldn't stop. I stopped knitting, I stopped cross stitching. I didn't want to do anything else. I like this. It's fun. It's relaxing. It gets me out of the bedroom because I still don't go anywhere. I also have autoimmune, and I don't take any chances. I don't. So when the pandemic started, I would not go anywhere. I wouldn't go out. Just, it's and the worst thing is it started the week of my birthday in March. My birthday's March 27th. It started that week. That's when lockdown came. And we all learned they shut the restaurant, shut everything down. And they told everybody stay home. There was a run on toilet paper and everything else. We all remember that. But I was supposed to go out for lobster with my best friend on that Friday for my birthday. And I never got my lobster. It's a horror. It's horrible. It really is. It's tragic. Don't you think? I told you, I'm nuts. She says, yeah, she's still hanging, Tia. My nuts is still here. I can't believe you've been at every single. I've been at almost everyone. I missed the early ones. I started at what, 10? I forgot. Hi, Erica. Berta, I always place the ends of my thread under a stitch on the backside so I don't have to do knots and it stays put. Of course. Just like with crochet or knit, you take your ends and weave them into the pattern so you don't have to do a knot. Knots usually come undone, especially if you're working with acrylic. Well, you don't have that problem with acrylic. You don't want knots. They give bumps. And the same thing happens with cross stitch. So I get it. I get that, Erica. That's a good one. Rhonda says she was incredibly gifted, movable bears, crochet, sewing, beads, costumes, puzzles. I tried convincing her to keep some, but she couldn't. She did take up small gardening now. Yeah, besides, you just reminded me. I also used to sew a long time ago, but when I first moved in with my brand new hubby, actually we were living together. I went out to this. They have some wonderful fabric stores that professional designers go to, and I went to and I picked up some beautiful brocade and this wonderful, I forget what they call it, jacquard, beautiful fabric. I made pillows with piping, and I made this gorgeous white tablecloth to fit this table. I told you this is a big table. That was a freaking big tablecloth. It was a lot. It's a way. But it's, so I still have the sewing machines. One tiny in the closet here. And I told you I'm all over the place. I just never. What am I looking at? Your aunt has Crohn's. Oh, I'm sorry. That's a painful one. But like I said, I don't go out anymore. I don't go. We've disinfected this place. My roommate, the best roommate ever. When my husband left, I lived alone for a little while. Then I got one roommate that was working for us. I was working for my brother at the time, and he was working for my brother too. And he needed an apartment, so I had a 3-bedroom at the time apartment, and I could afford it, but I wanted to have a little bit more extra money. So I got a roommate to pay half. And I got to tell you, he's 31 and the most beautiful man I've ever seen. Yeah. I was in my, I was turning 50 or something right around there. And he was 31. And he was this beautiful man who walked around the house without a shirt, cleaned up after himself, and ate his work on time. What's not to love? There was nothing to love. The guy had been living in Los Angeles. He actually was an extra in Amistad, which I was impressed with. It was fun. But he's such a sweet guy. He ran it. He got caught for some trouble he did when he lived up in Virginia. And he got caught down there. And so he did, he had to leave. Of course. He had to leave. And I needed a new roommate. So I went to roommatefinders.com, I think it was, or roommates.com. It was the only thing I could think of. And I put in what I wanted. I wanted a male because men are so much, believe it or not, men are easy to live with. They mostly stay in their own room. They don't try and nest and move your furniture. I've had roommates move my furniture on me. They don't want to put more stuff where it doesn't look good and it doesn't belong and it's not your style. And, you know, men are much easier. They are. Especially if you get one that cleans up after himself. I got one that not only cleans up after himself most of the time. His bedroom's a wreck. But the kitchen and the living room, and he's always clean. He takes out the garbage. He picks up the mail. He does all the shopping now. He likes to go shopping. I hate shopping. He goes to the grocery store all the time. You know, every couple of days he'll go and pick up what we need. And it's, damn, this man Dan, his name is Dan. He is the best. He's, if I were attracted to him, he'd make a perfect husband. I make a lousy wife, but he makes a perfect husband. We're not attracted to each other, as I keep saying. But we get along. We've been together now 2001 or 2002, so almost 20 years. Just about, yeah, almost 20 years. Maybe 20 years. It's just, aw, thank you, Erica. I try. Rhonda thinks I'm awesome. Oh, cool. That's what I do. I have a philosophy. If I can make someone laugh once a day, it's a good day. And I do that. I even do that when I have problems and I have to call for technical support or customer service or something. I was in customer service. I have to make them laugh. If they laugh, if they are smiling, it's a good day. And hopefully I made their day a little better, because what is laughter but love? It really is. Laughter is the best medicine. Reader's Digest knew that years ago. Hi, Ginger. Ginger Jones is here. What else? Anybody else? Anybody? Anybody? I still stay home. And I spend the mornings, but nothing happens to me. So that's why I don't do videos, because except for unboxings. But I can't afford a lot of stuff, so I don't do a lot of unboxings. Yeah, this is some serious shit. I'm sorry. Everybody's been so serious today. Talking about crafting, talking about issues and problems. They're right. It's good. It's this is a Craft-a-Thon, and as much as I want to tell you about me, so those who don't know me may get to know me, and if you do and you like it, please subscribe and hit the bell. But it's a Craft-a-Thon. So I love seeing all the different, Wilma Jean's going to sleep. I love seeing all the different crafts that everybody is bringing to the table and telling about and showing and talking. I haven't placed a single one. Usually I'm the one who's talking and diamond painting at the same time. I'm one of the only people that can do that. I know, because almost nobody can, at least without going silent. I rarely go silent. Told you guys I ramble and blather, but I wanted you to not only enjoy crafts and know this, that there are so many good creators here that have made some really good videos. There's a lot of how-tos, a lot of tips and tricks. But I was, thank you, Jen. She's subscribed. Yeah, you chat and craft. It's easy. Oh, night, Wilma Jean. You deserve your sleep. Don't you have a quiz, or did you already take it? Wilma Jean is going to school these days. I don't know how she does it. I'm not a student. Anyway, I wanted to talk about crafting. I wanted to talk a little bit about myself, so you guys know. Some of you know, some of you don't know. I used to sing professionally. What was Berta saying? My mom was a master at beading. Never seen anyone else bead like she did. Any pattern she would bead, you look at the back where the thread was, you could still tell what she sewed. Interesting. I used to make beaded earrings that would hang down, with the little tea beads. That was a lot of fun. I even got into the Indian bracelets that you make on the loom. That was fun too. I've had a lot of fun with many different. I've tried a lot of crafts and a lot of art. Even I think even creating these thumbnails is crafting and art. I enjoy it so much. I go onto the site, I grab a background, or I make my own background, and I grab this one, and I put in that text, and it's fun. I find it relaxing. Let's see. You see, this isn't a DP-a-thon. That's right, Kay. It's not a DP-a-thon anymore. It's a Craft-a-thon. It has been nice. It has been nice. Crashley, thank you. She just put up the playlist. Playlist will take you from one to the other to the other. Mistria Diamonds, my brandy baby. She calls me Mama Mickey. I love it. So she's brandy baby. And she goes on after me, which is in another 6 minutes. I just wanted to say that I really love you guys who come every week just to let me spout my mouth off and have a reason to giggle, because I do. I make myself laugh. It's the only way I can. And when I'm talking to someone else, it's even more. Some people think it's a fake laugh. No, it's not. No. I love to laugh. It helps.
Oh, Michelle, here is your reminder. Mystery Diamonds goes on next.
See? Even the Echo, I'm not going to say her name, even the Echo knows that we're 5 minutes out. Chantel, hi. Late to the party. Or not. I don't know. I'm glad all of you are watching this Craft-a-Thon. I hope you found some new creators to subscribe to like, to watch. Because I watch a lot of creators when I'm diamond painting. It's easy. You could watch and listen to them while you're diamond painting. Unfortunately, lately I've been into Am I the Jerk? Malicious Self-Compliance. I told you I like to laugh. So I'm gonna start. Oh, thank you, Berta. I'm gonna start saying goodbye. I want to thank you for coming. Thank you if you've subscribed. Thank you for the thumbs up. Thank you for being you and enjoying crafting as much as I do. And my goodbye is always, in the meantime, be nice, be good, be kind. It doesn't hurt. But most of all, be safe. Do what you have to do to keep yourself and others safe. We all know what that is. But I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it. My usual sign off. I can't help it. It's a habit. Until the next time. Arrivederci.